of a tycoon was subjected to school bullying, which led her to disappear forever. When the father found out about it, he forgave the perpetrators. However, he harbored a more intense plan for revenge than death itself. He adopted a daughter, intending for her to exact revenge on all those who tormented his biological daughter. How terrifying will this revenge be? Let's find out together. The story begins with a scene of a girl crying. She is standing on top of a tall building, looking down and contemplating her life. At that moment, tears stream down her face, and she cries out, "Dad, I'm sorry. I'm such an ungrateful child. I'm sorry, Dad." After saying this, she jumped straight down without any hesitation. On that very day, the news in Korea reported that recently, nearly half of the students in the school were pushed into a situation where they had to make an extreme choice. The horrific crimes of the perpetrators are causing public outrage. The perpetrators chained the victim's neck with a dog leash, forced her to swallow a burning cigarette butt, and silenced her. These acts of harassment, including nude photos of the victim and other violent behaviors, when revealed, shocked the public. On the other hand, the victim's father, known as Vice President Lee Myung-joon of the Hyundai conglomerate, is stirring another wave of controversy. Vice President Lee Myung-joon stated that regarding the students who bullied and harmed his daughter, he would make an official announcement. Lee Myung-joon said, "As for the students who bullied my daughter, I will forgive them. Of course, regarding my daughter's extreme choice, as a father, it truly breaks my heart. But because the students who bullied my daughter are still very young, I think that as someone who has been out in society, I should show compassion. Therefore, I ask the judge, please be lenient with the children. Thank you for listening." But when the reporters heard these words from Lee Myung-joon, they were all stunned. As Lee Myung-joon was about to leave, a multitude of voices erupted. "Vice President Lee Myung-joon, have you discussed this with your family? These crimes seem too serious to forgive just because they're young. Do you really think this is the best way to honor your daughter's memory? The entire nation is outraged by the actions of these criminals. Are you really the father of that child? Vice President, won't you answer any more questions? Please, answer the question. What kind of press conference is this? They should be properly judged by the law. What crime did your daughter commit to deserve this?" As a result, Lee Myung-joon's words have sparked public outrage against the father and deep sympathy for the daughter. There are rumors spreading that the victim was not the biological daughter of Vice President Lee Myung-joon, but an abandoned child. However, no one could even guess the truth. Meanwhile, Lee Myung-joon was seething with anger. He crushed the wine glass in his hand. No one could understand how he felt at that moment. He was in deep agony. "I forgave them, not to reduce their punishment. I have no intention of applying lenient laws to these teenage hyenas. Hyena, my poor daughter, I only realized everything when it was too late. Why couldn't you tell me the truth about being bullied? Why did you bear all this alone? You were always thinking of others first, and that truth drives me insane with regret. I should have raised you to be more selfish. But hyena, your useless father promises you one thing. Those vile children who drove you to this. I will repay them exactly as they did to you." At that moment, someone entered and said, "Vice President, I have brought the child you mentioned." Lee Myung-joon replied, "Good." After responding, Lee Myung-joon asked, "Is the girl used to life in Korea?" A girl named Ji-ram smiled and replied, "How could I not be? Thanks to my stepfather's careful care, I am very happy. I'm glad everything is fine for you. Now, Ji-ram, you should get ready for school." When Lee Myung-joon said this, his assistant was horrified, while Ji-ram seemed very pleased. At that moment, Ji-ram smiled and asked, "In Korea, someone like me can go to school?" At the same time, the assistant hastily said, "That's not possible, Vice President." "Why not?" Lee Myung-joon replied. "Isn't this a free democratic country? No matter what you say, I will do everything I can to ensure this child can go to school. I think the preparation work we've done so far will take about a year. Ji-ram, you will be living here soon, and shouldn't you be making friends?" After hearing what Lee Myung-joon said, Ji-ram smiled and responded, "Stop beating around the bush and just say it outright. You're not talking about friends, you're talking about things like toys, right, Dad?" Time passed quickly. At the end of May the following year, at Andro High School, in a classroom filled with laughter, a girl said, "Yoon-ji, my sweet, you have to eat the snacks I gave you. Why are you hesitating? Just eat it quickly." This is a special milk with lots of protein and eggs. Ah, I know, it's probably because you're lacking protein, right? Song Eun-jin, who was acting crazy, said, crazy. What's crazy about it? Just eat it already. I told you it's delicious. Yoon-ji, stammering in fear, replied. But it's been expired for over a month, and the milk inside is. In the milk carton, there were dead flies and clippings of her own hair. She started vomiting uncontrollably, and seeing this, Song Eun-jin coldly remarked, if you're reacting like this before even eating, what will you do next? Please, Song Eun-jin, this isn't right. I can't drink this milk. It's spoiled. Don't you know how cheese is made? This isn't spoiled, it's been processed. I just want to give you something tasty to eat. This is my kindness. When will my sweet Yoon-ji understand my heart? If I cut it with scissors, would you recognize it? I get it, Song Eun-jin. I'll eat it. But as soon as she finished speaking, Song Eun-jin's scissors lunged toward her. And Yoon-ji's scream echoed throughout the classroom. The other students were horrified by the sound of her scream, and whispered to each other, they've really gone crazy. Shouldn't we report this to the teacher? No, we can't do that. Don't you know anything? Song Eun-jin, she killed the daughter of a tycoon and didn't get punished. Song Eun-jin, 15 years old. The school incident involving the daughter of Vice President Lee Myung-jun. With the accused being charged with severe assault. It's crazy, can you believe it? If you can't believe it, then ask the students at Chodae High School. Do you still not know about this? No, I only know that she relies heavily on her brother and is very arrogant. What is Song Eun-jin doing now? What do you mean by the daughter of a congressman? It's best not to get involved. At that moment, Song Eun-jin's voice echoed in the classroom, you can eat it. Oh my god, she really ate it. Is she crazy? Why would she really eat it? At that moment, a girl couldn't stand it anymore and stood up. She was the class president. Simultaneously, another voice rang out, you kids, just because there's no teacher, you all think you can go wild, right? The noise was so loud it reached the teacher's office. Now, return to your seats. I have something to say to all of you. Seeing the homeroom teacher, Song Eun-jin and her group were puzzled and asked each other, what's going on? Why did the homeroom teacher come so quickly? Anyway, hide the milk. At that moment, Song Eun-jin turned to Yoon-ji and said. If you let this slip in front of the teacher, your nude photos will be spread everywhere. The homeroom teacher continued. Everyone, sit down quickly. Today, we have a new transfer student in our class. Since she's from North Korea, you all need to take good care of her, okay? Transfer student, please introduce yourself. Jiaram introduced herself, hello everyone, my name is Yoon Jiaram, and I'm from North Korea. Please take care of me. The scene shifts to a previous moment, where an assistant was anxiously speaking to Lee Myung-jun. It's still not too late. Please reconsider once more. Sending a child from a North Korean reformatory is really a child who says such things in jest. If you have such a child, it could cause a lot of problems. Hearing this, Lee Myung-jun replied. Director Beck, in your eyes, I adopted a daughter, right? Yes, that's right. I didn't adopt her. I just took in an abandoned dog. Hearing this, Director Beck was shocked and then sighed deeply. In 2018, Jiaram fled from North Korea on her own when she was just 13 years old. She was discovered by a patrol team at the Han River estuary. After undergoing biological experiments by the North Korean government to observe sensory regulation dysfunction, experts concluded that she was mentally ill. This is a special case, she does not feel pain or humiliation. Even though the bloodstains on her clothes when she escaped from North Korea were suspicious. However, through a legal investigation under hypnosis, it was revealed that during her escape from North Korea, she was involved in the murder of others, with a total of 13 victims. DNA tests on the bloodstains on her shirt matched the DNA of several victims. According to the legal report, since she was a juvenile offender, she was not held criminally responsible and was instead considered for transfer to a reformatory after 2 years. The girl is extremely aggressive and has a violent personality, which is beyond everyone's comprehension, along with superhuman physical abilities. For these reasons, the Seoul Juvenile Protection Review Committee ordered continued supervision and protection for Eun Jae-ram even after her release, as requested by the Ministry of Justice. Currently, in the classroom, Song Eun-jin is laughing and saying, "This sounds interesting." They are looking at Eun-jiram, intending to play some games on her. At that moment, there were many voices saying, "I heard North Korean girls are really pretty. Go and check it out." They were quickly scolded by the teacher. "What are you boys doing in the girls' hallway? Acting like this is disgraceful, isn't it, Jiram? Jiram, when you introduced yourself, you didn't reveal any North Korean accent at all." "That's right. I've seen people who escaped from North Korea on YouTube. And they all had a strong North Korean accent. Did you practice speaking South Korean?" "Yeah, I practiced hard while watching Korean dramas." "No wonder, Jiram. Can you speak in your North Korean accent once?" Upon hearing this question, Jiram immediately took on a different tone and said with a smile, "It's nice to meet my South Korean classmates. I'm Eun Jiram from North Korea. Jiram is so cute. And she's funny too." Yoon-ji, who was sitting next to Jiram, thought sadly. "The new transfer student sitting next to me is so noisy. But maybe with this lively atmosphere, this break time will be a bit more bearable. I'm so envious of her. If only I could smile like that without worrying about anything. If only I could be as pretty and loved as the new transfer student." But before she could finish her thoughts, Song Eun-jin approached everyone and coldly said, "Hey, what are you all talking about that's so funny? I want to laugh too. Hello, Jiram, right? Welcome to South Korea. You're really handsome, you know that? You look just like a cute, beautiful boy. I really want to be friends with you, Jiram. Would you like to join our group?" When Song Eun-jin said this, Jiram smiled and replied, "Your group? Yes, our group is really fun." Yoon-ji, who was sitting next to them, thought in fear, "Oh no, the new transfer student is already being targeted by the bully group. Every day will just get worse now. Why does it have to be that sicko, Song Eun-jin? The new transfer student seems so innocent. Will she be okay?" Meanwhile, Jiram was still looking at them without responding. But she remembered Director Beck's words. "Song Eun-jin. The eldest daughter of the chairman of Nangwon Trading Company, this girl is your first target." Just thinking about it made Jiram realize how truly wicked Song Eun-jin was. "Did I say something wrong? What's with that look on your face? Alright, let's continue." Speaking about Song Eun-jin's past, among the targets, Hyena was the one who was frequently assaulted. Especially often being kicked in the stomach. This was recorded in her diary, and one important thing to note is that Song Eun-jin was the one who came up with the idea of using a dog leash to bully others. Although she was the least physically abusive among the bullies, she was definitely the most enthusiastic participant. Currently, the school where Song Eun-jin is studying is Endro High School, one of the 4 schools Jiram will be transferring to soon. This is the only school located in Seoul, which made the transfer process easy. I've arranged for Jiram to be in the same class as Song Eun-jin. Normally, she's a very curious person, so I think she will definitely approach Jiram when she transfers to the school. Hearing Director Beck say this, Jiram smiled and replied, "I get the gist of it. So, if she approaches me, blood and bruises. Is that what you're telling me, to mark Song Eun-jin's body?" Upon hearing this, Lee Myung-jun responded, "No, you're mistaken. Before you do that, there's something very important that needs to be done. Listen carefully, Jiram. If Song Eun-jin approaches you, the action you must take is..." Back to the present, Jiram smiled and responded to Song Eun-jin, "That sounds great. Let's get closer to each other. Then, let's all join the gathering together, okay? We'll all be there." "That's great, Jiram. We'll be able to become good friends." Seeing this scene, one of Song Eun-jin's friends remarked, "This is crazy. Song Eun-jin is pretending to be cute again. Why? I like Jiram so much, that's why I'm doing this." "But Jiram, Ji-yoon is sitting next to you. Have you gotten to know her yet?" Hearing this, Jiram replied, "I just greeted her a few times." "Oh, I see. Well, become friends with Ji-yoon then. Do you want to play a fun game?" As soon as Song Eun-jin finished speaking, she snapped her fingers, and immediately, 2 of her friends approached and stood behind Ji-yoon. They quickly pulled a black plastic bag over Ji-yoon's head. Seeing this, Jiram asked Song Eun-jin, "What are you doing?" "Oh, this? You could call it a voluntary activity for our disabled friends, right? This is for our Yoon-ji. One of her eyes can hardly see anything, so it hinders her ability to see far. The wind just blew onto my desk. What if it made my precious phone fall? Anyway, it's a good thing my phone didn't crack, but for Yoonji's safety. We should stop this from happening again, right? So, I thought about covering both of her eyes completely and training her to avoid tables. What do you think? Yoonji, you can do it, right? I gave you that special milk to make you stronger. You don't need to sit at the desk. Just make it to the other side, it's easy, right? But every time you bump into a table, you'll get hit, okay? After saying this, Song Eun-jin pushed Yoonji forward. Yoonji's mind was pitch black, and she staggered as she tried to walk slowly, unable to see the way. Her thigh bumped into a table, and immediately, Song Eun-jin jumped forward and kicked her in the back, causing Yoonji to stumble forward and bump into another table. Without hesitation, Song Eun-jin rushed over and kicked Yoonji straight in the face. Yoonji cried out in pain, while the others pulled out their phones, laughing and recording, saying, "The way she falls is hilarious." After a while, Song Eun-jin's voice rang out, "Hey, Yoonji, why aren't you crying anymore? She just fell and hit her body on the table. How many times has she hit the tables now? Hey, did you get that shot of her having a seizure? It's so funny. Jiram, why don't you try it too? You and I can help Yoonji improve her spatial awareness. And at the next lunch break, let's put the bag back on her head. Weren't we going to try making her walk into the boys' bathroom?" At that moment, the class president heard what they were saying, and she quickly stood up and said, "Hey, is this for real?" She was about to speak up when another voice interrupted, telling them, "Stop it right now." That person was Jiram, who was urging Song Eun-jin to stop. "What are you all doing to a girl who has no strength at all? Even a 5-year-old knows that you shouldn't bully your friends. Is this something an adult would do? Take your hands off her right now. Can't you hear what I'm saying? Then let go and apologize to Yoonji. Apologize to her right now." Jiram's words plunged the entire class into silence. Even Song Eun-jin was stunned, as she had never experienced a situation like this before. After a moment, she stammered, "What the hell is this? Are you rebelling against me?" She immediately pushed Yoonji away and approached Jiram. Standing in front of Jiram, Song Eun-jin said mockingly, "North Korean kids aren't usually this clueless, are they? Or is it because there are no bullies in North Korea? If you're going to expose such disgusting behavior, I'll give you 2 choices. Either join our group or get lost. Otherwise, should I just beat you up?" Hearing this, Jiram coldly replied, "If you keep this up, I'll call the teacher." As soon as she said this, Song Eun-jin burst out laughing and said, "Call the homeroom teacher. In North Korean schools, if you don't listen to the teacher, you'll probably get shot, right? But our dear Jiram, this is South Korea, you understand?" Song Eun-jin immediately lifted her foot and kicked Jiram hard in the stomach. Jiram was taken aback by the kick. At that moment, she remembered what Lee Myung-jun had told her. "Under no circumstances should you hit first." "Why shouldn't I hit first, stepfather? No matter what, I'm going to kill them all and turn them into corpses. Does it matter whether I hit first or later? It's not about whether it's important or not. If you just strike once and end the game, it won't mean anything. The core of this plan is to create an environment where Song Eun-jin will be tortured endlessly. That place has already been set up. All that remains is to find a reason to send Song Eun-jin there. For that reason, you need to become a victim of school violence. When Song Eun-jin approaches, be innocent and warmly greet her. When things go unexpectedly, you must oppose it non-violently. Don't forget, justice will always be on our side. But I hated sweet potatoes in North Korea too. That means I'll have to wait a long time, stepfather. What should I do if I really want to hit them and can't hold back?" Hearing this, Lee Myung-jun coldly replied, "Then just hit them once in front of everyone." Back in the present, Jiram was getting up after being kicked by Song Eun-jin. Song Eun-jin was also watching Jiram's actions closely. Once Jiram stood up, she smiled and said, "Then I'll do as my father said." Hearing Jiram say that, Song Eun-jin called her a crazy girl. But at that moment, a teacher rushed in to announce, "Class 6, hurry up and change into your gym clothes. The teaching schedule for Mr. Min-young has changed, so the timetable has also been adjusted accordingly. Get ready quickly." Upon hearing this announcement, Song Eun-jin's group cursed, "Seriously, what the hell, teacher? Today's the gym exam, right? How are the teachers arranging the schedule like this? GRM, on the other hand, didn't care and instead recalled the words of Lee Myung-jun. But GRM, violence is something that should happen at least a week later. Just endure it. The core of this plan is for you to be seen as a victim by outsiders. If you destroy everything out of impulsiveness, I won't forgive you. Still, I believe that it won't be difficult for you. After all, with your physical condition. Not feeling pain isn't an issue, right? Back in the present, GRM was angry. Thinking, I'm feeling frustrated with my stepfather. At that moment, Song Eun-jin smiled and said to GRM, see you at the next break. I'll do my best to make you really cute. A little later, Song Eun-jin, holding chopsticks and smoking a cigarette, laughed and said, as expected, a secret cigarette during gym class is the best, right, Yoon-ji? Yoon-ji, at that moment, was carrying Song Eun-jin on her back. Then, Song Eun-jin's fake sweet voice echoed again, sorry for kicking you by mistake today. Does it hurt a lot? Anyway, I'm letting you smoke for free like this, so take it as compensation for your broken glasses. Two of Song Eun-jin's friends standing nearby heard this and laughed, come on, that's probably not all. Now it's not just cigarette butts, but new cigarettes as well. Yoon-ji owes you, right? Say he, you think so too? Actually, I do think so, but it seems like someone's footsteps are coming this way. They're heading in this direction. What the hell? We've been caught. Quick, put out the cigarettes first. A little later, someone approached the group of Song Eun-jin. Seeing who it was, Song Eun-jin laughed and said, oh, I was really scared. Turns out it's just the class president. At that moment, the class president's face was very cold, and she spoke to Song Eun-jin. Hey, you guys need to stop this. Meanwhile, Yoon-ji was crying and calling out to the class president, please help me. Song Eun-jin then said to the class president, so are you here to enforce your class president authority? Yoon-ji, seeing this, cried and thought, no, don't do it, class president. Don't get involved because of a useless person like me. At that moment, the class president picked up a cigarette and took a puff, saying, you guys are rotten to the core. Seeing this, Song Eun-jin's group laughed and said, I heard Moon E-jin quit smoking. But looking at you now, who wouldn't think you've quit? You guys should be more careful. We've already caused one child to die not even a year ago. You crazy idiots. Moon E-jin, 16 years old. The school violence case involving the daughter of Vice President Lee Myung-jun, she's the accused of severe assault. Why are you bringing that up, Moon E-jin? That's bad luck. That rumor has already spread in the class. This is insane. Who spread that news? I should shut their mouth. Are you stupid? Didn't I just say we need to be careful now? But what are you guys doing? Why are you making that face? Do I need to sew your mouth shut? Hearing Moon E-jin say that, the girl responded in fear, I'm sorry. At this moment, Song Eun-jin asked Moon E-jin, why are you making the atmosphere so serious? Listen up, you idiots. We're in high school now. Don't you want to go to college? Don't act like a bunch of brainless fools. Don't think you can just act recklessly forever. In this world, not everyone is as stupid as your dog, so when you do something stupid, don't drag me into your mess, got it? Hearing these words from Moon E-jin, Song Eun-jin became furious. Thinking, if you're done preaching, then go die. Pretending like you don't do anything just because you're in high school now. Back in middle school, Moon E-jin was the same. Sitting in the back and pretending to be noble, just to maintain her image, while I'm always seen as the evil leader. She's truly wicked. And in private, she's even worse than me. No matter what, she's disgusting. I don't like her at all. At that moment, Moon E-jin suddenly called out to Song Eun-jin. What did you just bark, you little brat? Hearing these words, Song Eun-jin stammered, when did I say that? I was wrong, Moon E-jin. Then make sure you do better, understand? Don't think you can overstep your bounds just because I've loosened up a bit. And you guys, hanging around this little brat all the time is really starting to annoy me. You know, suicide is a taboo, right? Eun-ji, what should I do with you? Life is already painful, isn't it? It's just one case of school violence. Why make such a big deal out of it? If you mess with my school life, I'll kill you, got it, Eun-ji? After saying this, Moon E-jin stepped on Eun-ji's hand, causing Eun-ji to cry out in pain, saying, Class President, please, your foot, please move it. I promise I won't bother you anymore. I swear I won't report this to the school violence committee. Please. Hearing this, Moon Ee-jin finally lifted her foot. As a result, Eun-ji bent down to touch her injured hand, which caused Song Eun-jin to fall off her back. Furious, Song Eun-jin kicked Eun-ji straight in the face. At that moment, a loud laugh echoed. It was Moon Ee-jin. She mocked Song Eun-jin, saying, "What are you doing? You're such a fool, always doing disgusting things. You idiots, you've done enough already. Now get back, go to the gym, it's your turn for the exam. Don't rush, though. Leave a little later than me, okay? You can't even handle a little thing like that, can you? Hey, Song Eun-jin, be careful. Be cautious with the new transfer student. Slowly torture her, her arrogant attitude annoys me." Meanwhile, on the other side, the gym teacher was saying, "What? You just transferred here and don't have gym clothes? You should have borrowed from a classmate in another class. But I guess since you're new, you don't know anyone yet. Wearing your school uniform is fine, I suppose. All right then, I'll consider your situation." "Thank you, teacher," Jiaram replied. "Okay, if the previous student is finished, please return the ball to its original position. You'll have to wait for your turn next." At that moment, a student came over with a ball and said, "Jiaram, do your best." The ball was placed in front of Jiaram. Seeing Jiaram standing in front of the ball, the other students began to whisper to each other, "It looks like she's actually going to kick it in her uniform. Is that okay? What's going on? Standing in front of the ball, she looks like a handsome guy." As her classmates laughed, Song Eun-jin, who was sitting nearby, laughed and said, "Why is she smiling that damn smile?" The other student quickly responded, "Sorry, Song Eun-jin." Meanwhile, Song Eun-jin was looking at Jiaram and thinking, "So what, Moon Ee-jin? Even if you're unintentionally hateful, I've got a new toy to play with, this one here. I'm bored of playing with Yoon-ji. If I bring her along, my status might drop, right? If you're going to keep a dog, you need a bit of skill to tame it. She's pretty perfect, though, she's got just the right amount of resistance. Being a North Korean defector, she has no backing and is very sensitive." At that moment, Jiaram lifted her foot and kicked the ball. Her shot was incredibly powerful and flew toward the goal. It sped past the girl standing in front of the goal in no time, leaving all the students there stunned. Even Song Eun-jin was shocked. The students started whispering among themselves. "Did you hear that sound? What was that loud noise? It sounded like a ball being kicked with the strength of a boy." Meanwhile, Jiaram shivered slightly, then she suddenly went wild, kicking the remaining balls toward the goal to the astonishment of the teacher and her classmates. Jiaram was breathing deeply, and she lifted her foot to kick another ball. This time, the ball flew straight toward the goal, but it hit the goalpost and rebounded, flying past the group. One of Song Eun-jin's friends, seeing this, angrily said, "That crazy girl almost hit me in the face." But a second later, she was terrified by Jiaram's expression. Jiaram was smiling at her with a chilling, deadly smile, which only made her more frightened. At that moment, she wanted to say something to Song Eun-jin. But Song Eun-jin suddenly shouted, that bitch is giving me attitude, isn't she? She's trying to show off to me. Right? After gym class ends, I'm going to find her." After gym class, Song Eun-jin angrily approached Jiaram and said, "Hey, you North Korean spy. Want to kick the ball around a bit? I bet your body is itching for a fight, huh? You think I'll be scared if you show off your strength like that? Try your best not to get hit, okay? Do you even know who my brother is? You don't belong here, you North Korean defector. What are you looking at, you bitch? Show me how you kick the ball during gym class." Hearing this, Jiaram just smiled and replied, "I can't do that." She pointed to her head and said, "The ball isn't here, how could I kick it like a ball?" This statement left Song Eun-jin frightened, while Jiaram continued walking toward them, saying, "Anyway, you look scared, like a bunch of insects clinging to a tail. Aren't you curious about how my face looks now? Your efforts to pretend to be calm are really quite cute." Unable to take it anymore, Song Eun-jin rushed at Jiaram, raising her hand to hit her, shouting, "Shut up, you bitch." As she was about to hit Jiaram, something suddenly hit her face. It was Jiaram's fist. Jiaram had punched Song Eun-jin square in the face. With that punch, Song Eun-jin's nose started bleeding, shocking everyone present. Even Moon Yi-jin, who was standing nearby, was furious. At that moment, Song Eun-jin was kneeling in front of Ji-ram, after taking the punch. Ji-ram, meanwhile, was smiling and thinking amid the chaos in the class. This game is really fun. Sorry, stepfather. Song Eun-jin, trembling, tried to stand up after taking the punch, but a second later, she collapsed to the ground, causing her friends to panic and say, "She can't keep her balance anymore. Someone, call the teacher." Meanwhile, Ji-ram kept moving forward, thinking, this is who I am, so what should I do about it? So from now on, I'll do things my way. With that thought, she lifted her foot and smiled, saying, now the ball is on the ground, right? After saying this, Ji-ram stepped on Song Eun-jin's head, laughing as she did so. Saying, you said I should kick like I'm kicking a ball, right? I've heard that kicking and bullying is a custom in South Korea, so I won't refuse your suggestion. So, how should I kick? Should I kick really hard? Should I kick you in the back of the neck? Ah, I've made up my mind. You seem a bit slow, so I think I'll just kick without spinning. At that moment, one of Song Eun-jin's friends picked up a chair and swung it at Ji-ram, but Ji-ram dodged by ducking. The girl realized she had missed and saw a foot coming at her. Ji-ram kicked her straight in the body right after dodging the chair. Ji-ram laughed and said, what are you doing? Are you trying to dance ballet or something? Loyalty like that is admirable, but everything has its order. I'll take my time to show you all my love, so why rush? It seems you want to go earlier than the others, right? I'll do as you wish. A second later, the girl screamed, what are you doing? I already said I'm hurt. But the other students in the classroom stood there trembling in fear, unable to do anything but watch. A moment later, Ji-ram, still smiling, said, I'm exhausted. Well, the game is over, and I didn't even need to use a rope. The girl, who was tied up with her own hair by Ji-ram, screamed, I told you to take this off, you crazy girl. But Ji-ram just pulled her by the hair and said, you're going to hit me with that chair earlier, right? Desks aren't meant to be used like that. Watch me carefully. This is how you do it. Ji-ram grabbed the girl's head and slammed it onto a nearby